What if I told you that one of the most simple-looking gaming consoles on the planet is hiding some of the most advanced engineering we've ever seen in consumer tech? The new Switch 2 doesn't look like a spaceship. It doesn't unfold into a robot, and it's not made of unicorn dust. Yet somehow, Nintendo is asking you to cough up a cool $450 for it, a full 50% more than the original. So, what's going on here? Did they lose their minds? Or did they secretly reinvent how handheld consoles are built from the ground up? Let's step inside the world's most advanced gaming hardware factory and find out. At first glance, the Switch 2 looks almost unchanged. Same iconic shape, same detachable controllers, same overall vibe. It's like seeing your childhood best friend after a glow-up. Familiar, but sharper in all the right places. But under that familiar plastic shell, everything has changed. And the story of why it costs so much more starts with the brain of the machine, its processor. Inside the Switch, 2 lives a chip that would make even high-end laptops jealous. Built by NVIDIA using cutting-edge 4nm technology, it's so densely packed with transistors that it's almost comical. The old Switch's processor was built on a 12nm process with about 2 billion transistors. The new one? Over 15 billion. Imagine cramming the population of Earth twice into a space smaller than your fingernail. That's what we're talking about here. But building something that advanced isn't cheap. Creating a 4nm chip involves extreme ultraviolet light, billion-dollar manufacturing equipment, and clean rooms so sterile they make hospital operating theaters look filthy. Each transistor is smaller than a virus, and they have to be etched into silicon with atomic-level precision. It's mind-boggling science, and it shows on the bill. That tiny brain used to cost Nintendo about $25 to make. Now it's closer to $85 per unit, and that's just one part of the console. Now let's talk about the screen. Most people expected Nintendo to go all in on OLED, since that's the direction tech usually goes. But Nintendo, being Nintendo, zigged where everyone else zagged. They went back to LCD, but not the same LCD from 2017. This is a next-generation panel with full 1080p resolution on a bigger 7.9-inch display, meaning over twice the pixel density of the original. It's also rocking HDR10 support, which makes colors pop and highlights explode off the screen in a way the OLED model never could. How? It's thanks to a quantum dot enhancement layer that lets the display render over 1 billion colors instead of the usual 16 million. But here's where the engineering brilliance really shows. This screen is not only more advanced, it's actually cheaper to produce. At about $35 a unit, it's significantly less than an OLED panel, while still delivering better performance where it matters. And because Nintendo opted for this tech, they could pack in features like 120 Hz refresh rate and variable refresh rate, both of which make gameplay feel smoother and more responsive without sending cost into the stratosphere. It's a classic Nintendo move. Don't chase the shiniest spec sheet, which yet build the smartest one. Then there's the Joy-Con situation. On the surface, they look unchanged, but anyone who's owned a Switch knows the original controllers had one frustrating flaw. Over time, they'd get wobbly, loose, and start feeling like cheap knockoffs. Nintendo was determined to fix that, and their solution is pretty genius. Instead of the old sliding rail system, the Switch 2 uses precision-engineered neodymium magnets to snap the Joy-Cons into place. These aren't fridge magnets, they're rare earth components that have to be aligned within 1/10 of a millimeter. Too weak, and the controllers fall off. Too strong, and you can't remove them. It's a delicate balance, and every pair is tested for up to 1 million attach-detach cycles. Of course, that level of precision comes at a price. The old attachment mechanism cost around $12 to make. This new magnetic system, roughly $35. But it solves a problem that's haunted the Switch since day one and dramatically improves the feel of the device. The difference might be invisible, but the moment you snap the new controllers on, you feel it. All of this extra power brings a new problem though: heat. The new processor is about twice as powerful as the old one, but it also generates roughly 4 times the heat. And heat is the enemy of handheld consoles. Too much of it, and performance tanks, components degrade, and the system becomes a pocket-sized furnace. So Nintendo had to get creative. Their solution was to borrow technology usually reserved for gaming laptops and high-end graphics cards, a vapor chamber cooling system with copper heat pipes. Inside, a tiny amount of liquid evaporates from the chip's heat, travels through the pipes, and then condenses back into liquid, a continuous cycle that wicks heat away far more efficiently than a basic heat sink ever could. Even the thermal paste that connects the chip to the cooler has to be applied by robotic arms with surgical precision. And every single heat pipe is pressure tested before assembly. It's overkill, but it's necessary, and it's not cheap. The cooling solution alone now costs about $25 per console, compared to just $8 on the original Switch, and then we get to the assembly process, the part most people never think about. Back in 2017, each Switch had to pass 23 quality control checks before leaving the factory. That number has more than doubled. Today, every single Switch 2 goes through 47 different checkpoints, each designed to catch microscopic flaws before they ever reach a customer. Robots handle the delicate steps like placing chips and applying thermal paste, while human technicians inspect for cosmetic defects and subtle assembly issues that machines can't detect. If a unit fails even one of those 47 checks, it's scrapped on the spot. Roughly 8% of all consoles never make it past the factory gates. This perfectionist approach adds about $40 to the manufacturing cost, but Nintendo knows it's worth it. A dead console on store shelves is a PR disaster. A flawless one becomes a household staple for a decade. They'd rather eat the loss on a failed unit than deal with the cost and reputation hit of mass returns later. And that's a big part of why Nintendo products, despite being handled by kids and tossed into backpacks for years, just keep working. Now let's talk numbers, because that $450 price tag doesn't come out of thin air. The original Switch cost Nintendo about $100 to $80 in parts. Today, the Switch 2 costs roughly $265 in materials alone. That's an $85 jump just in raw components. Factor in the more expensive chip, the new display, the upgraded Joy-Cons, the high-end cooling system, and the obsessive quality control, and the total manufacturing cost lands around $310 per unit. That leaves Nintendo with a profit of about $140 per console, slightly higher than before, but not outrageously so. Most of their profits still come from the games, where they make $15 to $20 on every title sold. But the price isn't just about hardware, it's about philosophy. Nintendo doesn't design products the way most tech companies do. They don't chase raw specs, they don't brag about teraflops, and they don't race to be the most powerful. Instead, they obsess over balance. Every engineering decision on the Switch 2, from the chip to the display to the magnets in the Joy-Cons, follows the same guiding principle. Give players the best experience possible without compromising portability, battery life, or fun, and that philosophy shapes everything about how this console is built. Take that 4nm chip again. Sure, it's powerful, but Nintendo didn't design it to run the latest AAA PC ports on ultra settings. They built it to deliver incredible performance efficiently. That's why, despite packing over 7 times more transistors, it sips power compared to traditional gaming hardware. It's not about brute force, it's about smart power. That's the kind of engineering that lets you play expansive open-world games on the go without your battery dying before the cutscene ends. And that's where a lot of the price increase really comes from. Invisible improvements, stuff you don't see in spec sheets or marketing slides, things like energy-efficient silicon, advanced power management circuits, and tightly tuned firmware. All of that costs money to develop, years of R&D, testing, and iteration. But the payoff is a console that's more capable without sacrificing the pick-up-and-play magic that made the original Switch so beloved. Then there's the display choice. Going back to LCD instead of sticking with OLED might seem like a step backward, but it's actually a masterclass in cost-benefit engineering. OLED looks amazing, no question, but it's expensive, harder to manufacture at scale, and not great for features like high refresh rates or HDR10 brightness. Nintendo's decision to invest in an advanced LCD with quantum dot tech means they can deliver richer color, higher frame rates, and better dynamic range, all while keeping power consumption lower and costs manageable. It's the kind of nuanced decision that seems simple until you understand just how much thought went into it. And the Joy-Cons? That's another perfect example of Nintendo's design priorities. Most companies would have shrugged off the looseness issue as good enough. After all, the original sold over 130 million units despite it. But Nintendo decided to tackle it head-on. Replacing a $12 sliding rail with a $35 magnetic system is a massive cost jump for something that, on paper, doesn't make the console run any faster. But in reality, it makes the whole experience feel premium. Every time you snap those controllers on, there's a satisfying click. They don't wiggle, they don't drift apart, they just feel right. And that kind of invisible quality, the stuff you can't put a number on, is what builds brand loyalty. Cooling is another area where Nintendo could have easily cut corners. They could have slapped in a slightly bigger heatsink, called it a day, and accepted some throttling under heavy load. But instead, they engineered a full vapor chamber cooling system, something you usually see in $2,000 gaming laptops, and shrunk it down to fit in a portable console. It's over-engineering at its finest, and it's why the Switch 2 can run more powerful games without turning into a space heater. So now the question's on you. Does Nintendo's obsessive approach to engineering justify the premium price? Would you pay more for something built to last and perform this well? Drop your thoughts below and make sure to stick around, because next time we're cracking open the secrets behind another iconic piece of tech and revealing how it's built from the inside out.